Hey there everybody, Boyd here with you. Well, what you're looking at here is a 1/18 scale die-cast model of a 63 Ford T-Bird. And this one was kind of special to me. I spent last evening working on this, did quite a bit of work to it, and I'll kind of explain the whole story behind this, you guys. Back in 1974, my dad actually bought one of these, and it was absolutely cherry. I remember at the time, you'd have to know my dad. Back in the day, he was just kind of a blue collar worker guy. He just went to work every day. He drove a pickup truck. He never had anything fancy. He always kind of put the family and us kids and everything ahead of himself, and he was that way for many years. And I remember one evening we were sitting around having dinner, and he said, he asked me if I was going to be coming home from school right away instead of stopping by and playing ball with the other kids or whatever. And I said, yeah, sure, I'll come home. And he said, okay, well, make sure you get home right away from school tomorrow because I'm going to have a surprise. And I thought, wow, okay, well, Dad usually didn't do a lot of surprise things. And so I remember it was a summer day, and I was sitting on the front porch waiting for Dad to get home, waiting for his truck to come down the street. And of course, as a little kid, I was always fascinated with cars and everything, and I knew every car in the neighborhood. So I was kind of looking down the street in the direction that Dad would usually come, and all of a sudden, this bright red car, really cool looking car, turns around the corner and starts coming down the street. And as it gets closer, I can see my dad at the wheel, and he's just grinning from ear to ear. And he pulls in the driveway in this thing, and this thing was just, at the time, it was just absolutely cherry. And he later on told me that that was the reason that he bought it, because the car was already about 11 years old at that time, and the guy that he bought it from, a friend of his at work, took really good care of it and apparently had bought it brand new. And so it was just awesome. I remember the first time I sat in it, it was like being inside of a spaceship at that time. I mean, if you remember the old T-Bird, they had, beautiful, almost like an aircraft type interior cockpit. It had the tilt and telescoping steering wheel that also could swing out of the way, and just every option you could get. It had the fender skirts. It just looked beautiful in this bright red with all the chrome and everything. It had a red interior, so it was a awesome car. And there's kind of a little bit of a tragedy behind the story. Dad had the car a couple of years, and a couple summers later, I had gone to visit my grandparents and was staying with them out in South Dakota. And I'd always call Dad and ask how the T-Bird was. And one day we were talking about it, and he was just kind of quiet about it. And I didn't find out till I got home that the car had actually gotten stolen. It was stolen while it was parked at work, and apparently they took off with it. And we lived in Wisconsin, and they took off, and the car was actually found in California on the side of the road. It had gotten hit by believe it or not, an 18-wheeler, and it totally destroyed the car. Dad, all he ever got was a photograph of he called it a crumpled up red ball is what he called it, and it was really sad. And I think it really broke my dad's heart because he never really got anything like that again. He went back to, well, he had kept his pickup truck, so he had that to go to work in, but he never bought anything fancy like this again. I remember years later he talked about buying, he was interested in buying a Lincoln Mark IV, the old, when they look like a nice coupe, but he never did get around to buying one. So for years I've always wanted to kind of replicate the car. So I wound up picking up this diecast a while back. Now, I kind of had to compromise. The car actually was red like you see here, but it had a black interior. So, and it had the plastic top here. This top's actually plastic. That was molded, and it was supposed to be the same color, but it was like, I don't know, it was off by a bunch. It looked more like a maroon color. So I decided what I was going to do is finally got around to it. I worked on the Enterprise the other night, and then I stayed up kind of late, and I just decided for some reason I just got a wild hair, and I just dug this thing out and started tearing it apart. I completely disassembled it, took it all the way down, and worked on it, repainted the interior, and while I was at it, I took all the little chrome pieces in there, and I did a nice black wash on those, because it had that really beautiful console and the really cool looking dashboard. And then I repainted the top, you know, to match the color of the rest of the car. And then what I did is I completely scuffed this whole thing down with some 600 grit sandpaper. I was really careful because I didn't want to lose this little Thunderbird logo that's right here on both rear quarter panels. It's just a sticker that's on there. But I didn't want to lose that, so I kind of stayed away from that area a little bit. But then I went back and once I got the paint smoothed out pretty good, I went back and shot this thing with my 2K automotive clear, and you can see the difference. It's really nice. It came out beautiful. It came out real shiny and glossy like it should, and it made the chrome and everything look a lot better. I had to take a Sharpie and redo all the chrome around the windows and everything. I did some detail there at the tail lights that you can see, the little chrome trim that's in there, which wasn't there. Did a black wash on the Thunderbird emblems, and then I did a black wash on the hubcaps, which were just all plain looking, you know, all chrome, and then a little bit of a wash on the grill here that you can see as well. There's not much to see underneath of the hood. This is just it's a semi curbside kit. This is the engine detail in there is just like a pan. You know, it's all molded in there. There's not much to see, but they had the air cleaner painted sort of a weird turquoise blue color, which I have no idea where they got that from, but I painted it with the correct Thunderbird gold. You know, they had the gold air cleaner and the gold valve covers. And so I just kind of had fun cleaning it up a little bit, and you know, just it's really cool to have this. I've always loved this body style. Over the years when I was working on all my own cars, I came really close a few times to getting one of these and fixing it up just like Dad's, but I guess we've got it back now, Dad. If you're watching this, we kind of got the T-Bird back, sort of. It's not the real deal, but it's as close as I'll probably ever get at this point. And just always thought this was a beautiful car. And so I thought you guys might enjoy seeing it. Really neat. Got all the glass. One thing, you know, I'll talk about I forgot to mention is I talked about how the glass was kind of cloudy and faded. I wasn't able to get... You can still see a little bit of that on these wing windows. I did the best I could with those, but I took the main glass here, the front and the rear out, and I took some of my polishing compound, and that cleaned up pretty nice. I added some chrome trim around the bottom there, which was not even there on the glass to begin with. But so there you go, guys. I just wanted to share this with you. It was brought back a lot of memories. I was digging through some of our old family photos and actually found a couple pictures of it, and they're old Polaroids, and they're not very clear. So it's just kind of neat to see the car again. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll be back in a couple of days with another update on the Enterprise. In fact, it'll probably come out later this afternoon, part 7, where we're working on sanding and puttying the seams on the secondary hull. And then probably Tuesday or so we'll be coming back with the next update on it, and we'll be painting the hull. And that'll really be a big step on the build, because once that's done, we basically drop the saucer on the top, and we paint and decal the nacelles and put the antenna controls boards in those, and we'll be done with the model, just besides a few little detail parts. So we'll see you for that probably. Well, you'll see the other update this afternoon sometime, and then you'll see the part 8, I guess it'll be, when we're actually painting the hull on Tuesday. So take care out there, you guys. Thanks for listening to the story here. It was pretty cool to share it with you guys. And like I said, we've got Dad's T-Bird back, so I'm really happy with that. You guys take care, and we'll talk to you later. Happy modeling, everyone.